Welcome, everyone, and Happy New Year. We are officially in 2023. Before we get into the forecast for January, I just want to mention, of course, that this is a general forecast. If you would like a personal reading, or if you would like your own personal year ahead forecast, book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Here we go. So a new year, a new energy to work with. We leave the energy of the 6 behind in 2022, and we jump into the very practical and very ethereal landscape of the 7 energy for the universal cycle of 2023. So if you haven't already, again, be sure to listen to your previously posted 2023 year ahead forecast for your specific life path number. Those are up on my YouTube channel and my podcast for your listening pleasure. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to first look at the collective energy for January 2023, which will sort of explore the cycle that we'll all be working with for this month. And then we'll take a look at the month ahead, including the energies for the new and the full moons of January for each life path number. Okay, so January 2023 is an 8 universal cycle. And so what this means is collectively we will be feeling much more focused, much more determined, and more motivated this month. So we're ready to make big strides on some of our greatest visions, and we can feel the excitement growing around creative projects and collaborations that sort of fuel our passions. This energy is saying, let's go. Under this energy, it's important to not see limitations as indicators that something is not achievable or that it isn't for you. We're meant to acknowledge those limitations and then call in the people and the resources that are the experts within those areas to assist, while we focus our own energy on the areas where we are the experts and where we can let our light shine the brightest. 8 energy understands the importance of collaboration and teamwork. It doesn't try to do it all alone, and it certainly understands that it isn't the expert at everything. The goal is to focus on and emphasize our own strengths while also allowing others to contribute in the same way. When we try to be the best at everything and fail to see our own limitations as an opportunity to allow someone else's strengths to shine through, then we restrict ourselves and, in turn, restrict others. So this is a great month to ask for assistance and to accept that assistance without trying to control it, right? So the month of January may start off a little slow, but by mid-month, the energy will be pushing us to get started on whatever it is that we set our sights on. Money and financial affairs could also come up this month, and you could see sort of an influx of resources, perhaps an uptick in clients or sales. Or if you've applied for, a new job or a promotion, you could see that come through at this time. New contracts could be initiated at this time as well. So if you're a freelancer or again, like work with clients, you may see an uptick there. Or for some, unexpected costs could surface at this time to have you to take a closer look at your spending and or your money management. This is a great energy when it comes to career or how you sort of make your money or your resources in the world. So if you're looking for work or if you're looking to change jobs, this is a very supportive energy to help you not only get your foot in the door, but bust through that door and get seen. So again, this is great energy for getting your name out there, putting yourself out there, getting seen, being recognized, getting those promotions, getting more clients, getting more sales, all of those things. This is very ambitious energy that we're working with, right? Or we have the opportunity to work with. Don't be afraid of taking risks this month, especially mid-month and onwards. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. And again, get your name out there, get yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be seen in whatever ways feel aligned for you. Not necessarily what feels comfortable for you, because sometimes we do have to step outside that comfort zone, right? But in ways that feel aligned. So it feels good, even though it might be a little scary, or it might be, again, different from how you're used to doing it. That is the power of the 8. It's going to sort of push us beyond our again, beyond those comfort zones. And that can include, again, like asking for assistance, asking for where you need help, where it is that you have those limitations. There is power in that, and the 8 energy is going to assist us in doing that. The energy of the 8 reminds us that if we don't speak up and ask for what we want, then the answer is always going to be no. So be confident and bold and go for it. This vibration will also ask us to sort of proceed with honesty and integrity. Shady business isn't supported under this vibration, and using others to get ahead now might work initially, but the fall will be greater than the rise. So anything done without integrity, especially under the vibration of the 8, is not sustainable and will eventually crumble. So it's best to build from a foundation of honesty and integrity to begin with. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the month of January for your specific life path number now. Life path number 3. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you all for January 2023, and you got moose energy. This is such powerful energy. So I love this coming through for you all. This is about boldness and commanding attention. So this is such great energy for just getting yourself out there, for really just, again, like being bold in your approach, being assertive, just, again, like going after what you want, and just moving through obstacles like nobody's business, right? Like, so if you've ever seen a moose running through snow, right? So moose are they're these very large creatures, right? And they have these long spindly legs, but these big bodies. And there's actually several videos online of them sort of just running through just high snow like it's nothing, like with massive speeds, right? Just cutting through that obstacle just like it's nothing, like just slicing through butter. And so that's the kind of energy you're working with this month. It's kind of like overcoming those obstacles with ease, asking for the not being afraid to ask for the assistance that you need, going after, seeing the limitation and then going after whatever resource that you need to make it happen and making it happen, right? Like not accepting that something's not possible, but trying to figure out how to make it possible type thing. Again, whether that includes like bringing in the experts to assist you to do that, but not being afraid to do that, not seeing it as a weakness when you have to ask for help, and really shining a light on and focusing on your own strengths, like your own attributes and what you bring to the table, and recognizing the importance of that and how special those contributions are, right? And really like putting your energy into what makes you feel good and what inspires you. That is really big this month. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute because you're working with 11-2 energy for January, along with the 8 energy that we're all working with collectively. But that is all about like taking inspired action. And so the moose is going to command the attention. They're going to go for what they want without apology. There's also this energy with moose about like engagement, like curiosity and engagement. And, I will say moose tend to spook easily. So I will sort of add that layer, right? Like if there's something that you have some kind of like irrational fear around, definitely deconstruct that, like explore it and deconstruct it, because that irrational fear is going to be holding you back. And with moose energy and this 11-2 energy that I'm going to talk about, you are meant to be taking inspired action. You are meant to be going after the things that you really desire and want and that light you up, and overcoming those obstacles, again, just with ease. So if there is something that you have an irrational fear around, you need to explore that. You need to like face that fear and overcome it. And this month is going to assist you in doing that, but you have to put in the effort and, again, face that fear, right? Now, obviously, if it's a rational fear, that's a different story. I'm not going to spend time on that because, that's just goes without saying, right? But if it's an irrational fear, you need to face that. You need to overcome it. You need to deconstruct it, transmute it, and move on, because it's keeping you from stepping into whatever it is that's inspiring you, right? And so a rational fear would be like, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I can't do this, blah, 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 right? Okay, so for the month of January, not only are you working with the collective cycle that we're all working with, which of course is the 8, and I talked about that in the intro, which is relevant and important, but you're also working with this undercurrent energy of the 11 too. So this is the inspirational leader. This is what inspires you. So this month, the question to ask yourself, especially like if something presents itself to you like an opportunity, or whatever, the question to ask yourself is, does this inspire me? Do I feel inspired by this? Am I taking inspired action? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. If the answer is no, and it takes inspiration from you, you feel uninspired, you feel lack of motivation, you feel like burdened by whatever this is, then it's a no. That really is the guidepost this month for 3s, especially with all that creative life force energy moving through you just innately, because 3 is the energy of creation, right? And so this month especially, and I think this is going to sort of set the tone for 2023 for you all. So pay attention to what inspires you. Pay attention to what uninspires you, to what burdens you, to what leaks your energy, and find a way to shift the focus and shift your resources and shift your energy towards what inspires you. And the energy of the 11-2 that you all are working with in January is going to assist you in that. It's not going to do it for you. Remember, the energy is present. It's what we do with it that makes the difference. But having 11-2 energy present so strongly, so potently for you all throughout January, this is beautiful energy to, again, just really focus your energy on what inspires you, to ask that question when something presents itself to you. Do I feel inspired by this? Do I feel motivated by this? What is my motivation? Am I taking inspired action, or am I taking action out of obligation that makes me feel resentful and burdened and sucks the life out of me, right? And this includes with relationships, like with people. Do I feel good after my time with this person or these people? Or do I feel drained and like I've overgiven but haven't received anything, right? So this energy is going to assist you in doing that, because we by default inspire others when we are doing what inspires us, right? And so it's not something where we're trying to influence others, but working with the energy of the 11-2 assists us in inspiring others through following our own inspirations. So this is going to be a really big month for that. And really, in order to do that, in order to follow our true inspirations, our true purpose, all of those things, we have to face the irrational fears that come from the conditioning that we've sort of, accumulated over the years that tells us that we're not capable, that we're not worthy, that we're not good enough, whatever. And so, or that, I'm going to be rejected, or I'm not going to succeed, or whatever it is, right? We allow those stories to hold us back. And so this month for you all, like I said, this is a big pivotal sort of powerful month where, again, I think it's sort of setting you up for the next 12. So, or, for the year of 2023. So face those irrational fears, follow your inspirations, and just see where it takes you, right? You might get inspired by something and start down that path and then realize, okay, this is great, but this isn't how I want to spend my time. And you can shift, you can change direction, just like the moose would do, right? Like, it's okay. It's fine. The moose is always going to go after where the nourishment is, where, where it can thrive. And so the 11-2 energy that threes are working with this month is asking you to do the same thing. Okay, so January 6th, we have a full moon. You all, for this full moon, are working with the energy of the 8. So again, we have the collective cycle for January 2023, which is 8 energy. Now for this full moon on the 6th, threes are working with the energy of the 8. So you all could see a big boom in business. You could see something sort of career focused or resource focused come into play here, where it like comes to culmination. So I think of like a settlement or something like that, or getting that promotion, or getting an uptick in clients, seeing some kind of big success in some area. Full moons usually will indicate some kind of completion. But that completion can also be the start of something new, right? So it's kind of like an end to scarcity, an end to sort of a lull in business, an end to only accepting jobs that you feel qualified for, instead of putting yourself out there to see what else is out there, right? To see what else you can do, what you can get, what you can learn, all of those things. And so there could be sort of a sort of like a large focus this month around this full moon, especially for threes, around purpose, business, money, basically all the things that I sort of talked about in the intro are sort of being concentrated for you all around this full moon. So definitely listen to the intro if you did not, because I think there's going to be sort of a hyper focus for you all around this 8 energy. This can also be like you stepping into your power. And I think back to like moose energy. This is a very powerful animal. You do not want to upset or spook a moose in the wild. They're there to be feared more than most other wild animals, just because they can be erratic when they're spooked, right? So they're very powerful animals. And so this could be like you stepping into your power and going after what you want, facing those fears, all of those things, and finding your center through whatever it is, right? Through the work that you do, through your contributions, all of those things. So a lot coming in here around potentially finances, resources, power, status, the material plane, but also your higher connection to your higher consciousness, right? Making sure that what you're doing has integrity and honesty behind it. That's going to be big as well. Anytime the 8 is present, it's going to make sure that there's integrity behind whatever it is, whatever the output is, right? Whatever the vision is. If there's not, like I talked about in the intro, you can achieve it, but it's not necessarily going to be sustainable in a satisfying way. And so this could be a call for you to check the integrity behind your why and make sure that you're moving forward in a very honest way, being honest to yourself and others and all those things. So you could see that come in around this full moon. Like I said, you could also see settlements come to completion. If you're, going through a divorce, that could come to completion. Same thing as getting married. People may get married at this time, and you see a change in your resources or your status because of that that change, right? So any of that is possible. Then on the 21st of January, we have a new moon. This new moon is initiating something like some kind of new start, some kind of change, some kind of shift. Now, you all are working with 5 energy for this new moon on the 21st. So you will absolutely, more than likely, again, this is a general reading, but you will more than likely see some kind of shift, change in direction. Larger than life ideas could come in around this time, where it's again, it's interesting because in astrology, the new moon is in Aquarius, I believe. And so that's very much aligned with 5 energy. It's about the community, but it's larger than life. And it's thinking outside the box and coming up with solutions to situations that haven't been thought of before. It's big energy, and it's very fast moving. So it's not unlikely to have some kind of major shift in mindset, shift in belief, shift in how you do something. that totally changes the landscape. That's very possible around this new moon. And again, because it's a new moon and new initiations and starting new things and planning new things, coupled with this 5 energy, I would think that there's probably going to be potentially some kind of major shift for you when it comes to your creative output. And I say that because, again, you're working with that 11-2 energy in January. And so that's really focusing on your inspirations, like what inspires you. So for 3s, this is going to potentially be some kind of shift in your thinking of how you do something or how you approach something, or how maybe it's about calling in resources, that sort of thing. But 5 energy is about, again, like change, a change in perspective, a change in location, a change of doing something. So you could, really when it comes to 5 energy, it's like expect the unexpected. So because, again, it's a general reading, it could come in just in a variety of ways. It could come in a change with your relationships, with your career, with your belief systems, with whatever. But some major change coming in around this new moon on the 21st. And so, but whatever this is, again, is sort of setting you up for the next several months. Whatever this change is sort of needs to occur so that you can see things from a broader perspective, right? So you can see things through a different lens. So it might be uncomfortable when you're moving through it, but just try to move with it as much as you can, like as easily as possible, right? Because when you can find the comfortableness in the uncomfortableness, it just makes the journey much more comfortable, because you're going to go on the journey regardless. So, but yeah, with this 5 energy, there's also this call for like freedom. And so it's kind of like, I just think about for you all, like creative freedom, like so creative self-expression or freedom for your self-expression or whatever. So it might be that you change the way that you dress or the way that you look or something like that. But it's more aligned with what feels good for you, right? Like it's more like you stepping into your power, like, okay, you don't like this, I don't care, because this is who I am and this makes me feel good. And it's not hurting you. So deal with it type thing. And it's like, that's like moose and 5 energy. So I really do love this for you all. And also that goes back to the 11-2 energy that you all are working with for January, where it's like, you know what, this inspires me. So this is what I'm going to do. If it doesn't have to inspire you, like you talking to other people, right? Like it has to inspire you as a 3. Anybody else, they either like it or they can leave it. 5 energy just doesn't really care. So it's kind of like, just finding your center within that energy and doing what inspires you so that you're not, running over people or doing things that would hurt people, obviously, but so that you're doing it that feels good for you. And 3 energy, which is your life path energy, that is big energy as well. And a lot of 3s will sort of minimize who they are to make other people comfortable. And that can be a struggle for 3s as they move through their journey. 5 energy is just as big, if not bigger. And so when you have, as a 3, this 5 energy, and it's at the illumination of a new moon, this is really giving you permission to, and you're going to feel probably that pull to just really be yourself authentically. If people don't like it, then they're not your people, right? Like that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Like they're just not meant to be with you on this part of this leg of your journey, right? Like they might circle back around, but this 5 energy absolutely is really helping you to just really own all your magnificence, all of your bigness, and share it, because it's there for a reason, right? Like the moose is this big animal, but it doesn't apologize for that. It doesn't apologize for its presence. And a lot of times 3s will apologize for their presence, right? Like they'll try to make themselves smaller because their energy is so big. And people sometimes will be like, oh, you're too much, or I can't handle you, or whatever. Then they're not your people, right? So this 5 energy at this new moon is really helping to kind of push you into your bigness in a big way. So I love this for you all. It's interesting. This is sort of a tangent, but it's just interesting because like when I'm looking at compatibility in a numerology reading, with clients, and let's say that there are 3 and they're coupled with a 5, I know that that is a fun group. Like that is a fun couple, right? Like fun people to be around because like both are just such big energies. And when they get together, holy guacamole. So anyway, so just enjoy this energy of the 5 and allow it to really allow you to step into your greatness, especially this month. Because like I said, I feel like this is setting you up for the next 12. So I hope it is a beautiful January for you all 3s. Thank you so much for being here and for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.